guys, it's Katie from Shire Ranch, and I thought since it's a gorgeous day outside, I would give you guys a garden tour. So come with me. Outside our back door, we have our raised beds, and in our first bed, we have our tomatoes and some jalapeno peppers down here, and our dill is looking wonderful. I need to tie it up actually. And these are this whole bed is Amish paste tomatoes. I'm trying to see if there's any baby tomatoes on here. I don't think there are. And a marigold, 2 marigolds. I did see, let's see, we got some flowers going on, so that's good. And then some red rocket peppers that aren't looking like super wonderful, but they're alive. And then this is like our herb flowery bed. So excuse the weeds. I need to put mulch down, and I need a weed. So we have rudbeckia. Our parsley is doing wonderfully. We have a few parsley plants. Basil. I'm so excited to make pesto. Arugula. Echinacea. Swiss chard. I feel like even though I got like a rainbow chard, I only got the yellow chard, so I don't know what's going on there. More basil. This is all sweet basil. And let's see, this one here is getting a little tall, so I'm gonna, if you can see, we have 2 leaves and node there. I'm gonna pinch off right above there, and then it'll become bushy. So you can kind of see I did that here, and it's kind of just bushing out to make a bigger bush, which is what I want. And I did that here too. Calendula. When I was watering this morning, there was a bee hanging out inside that one. And then over here I have some Thai basil. I really enjoy Thai basil. And our cilantro didn't get very big before it went to seed, but that's okay. And then this is just kind of was the winter bed, so it's in transition. So we got our nasturtiums that are blooming, spinach that needs to be pulled out because it's bolting, some more nasturtium mixed with cucumbers, marigolds, peas that are dying back, onions that are doing okay. I just transplanted some cucumbers because there was a spot, basil, and some more calendula, and carrots. We'll see how the carrots make it, because I don't think they're ready, and they're not exactly a summer crop. We'll see. And then, behind me, we have our last raised bed. Let's get a good look at this. So, on this end, we have sun gold cherry tomatoes. And let's see if, I know on the other side I have baby tomatoes already. I don't think I have any on this side. So we have sun gold cherry tomatoes. These peppers here are Yankee bell peppers, and in the front are mini bell peppers. And then we have jalapenos. I'm pretty sure these are all jalapenos, yeah. Jalapenos, these are speckled Roman tomatoes. Let's see if I have any baby speckled Romans. I know I have flowers. I don't know if I have any baby tomatoes yet. I don't think I do. I need to come through and prune again. But we do have baby cherry tomatoes. So here's our raised bed garden. 4 raised beds. And then let's go look at what's on the patio. We have my favorite, chocolate mint. Makes a delicious tea. I actually have a video if you want to check that out. I'll link that below. And some gorgeous zinnias that are starting to bloom. Plants in the various stages of transplanting. Bush that we saved needs to be transplanted. More basil. You might get the idea that I like basil, which would be true. Pesto is one of life's greatest things, and I'm super excited to be making some. So here is our, and it's doing well, our wild grape rooting experiment. And then there's a giant Swiss chard in here. And I don't really want to pull it out because it's beautiful. And we have James's peach tree. It's getting tall and growing, and it looks like it's actually getting branches, which is awesome. Thyme. If you know me, you know I hate lavender, but I'm very proud of this lavender plant because I grew it from seeds. So then this is some jewelweed that I transplanted, and because one, it's just kind of a cool plant, and two, I heard that it is good. You can make a good salve from it to help heal poison oak, poison ivy, and all those things. Our hydrangea is blooming. There's a calendula in front of it that may or may not grow. It may be worth noting that last week on Friday, June 18th, we had I wouldn't call it severe, we've had more severe storms than that, but we had a good storm come through, and we have this creek in our backyard, and right now it's flowing because it rained recently. It's knocked down a lot of the cattails, but it came up, and I'll show you. We have a video of it, so I'll put that in here. It's rainy. The water came up over our bridge, so that was fun. I thought that maybe I might lose my elderberries, but it doesn't look like I did. But my elderberries overall are doing great. But you can even see from here where the creek level was. So here's some debris from the creek, and I need to cut this rose bush up. And here's an elderberry, so it's right up against it. It's basically the same deal on the other side. So you can kind of see where the water line was. So thankfully, my elderberries survived that. Okay, so we are now out at the big garden, and as we walk in, on one side we have some calendula and marigold, and then we have some cantaloupe, and then we have 2 patches of corn. and they seem to be growing well. And at the end of the patches of corn, I put some Marigold, dill, Calendula, just whatever extras we had. And then on the other side, as we come in, we have more Marigold and Calendula. And I need to start weaving these into the fence. But these are Lima Beans on this side of the fence, and then on this first trellis is all Lima Beans. The second trellis, I'm trying to remember, I have it in my notes, is the first half about is Lima Beans, and then the second is pintos, and then pintos. I just yesterday planted these cucumbers, transplanted these cucumbers, and it looks like we lost maybe one or two in the transplant, but somehow when I first started cucumbers, first started transplants for squashes and melons, I didn't start cucumbers and didn't realize that until I was planting everything else. So these are a little further behind than I would like. That is okay. The row next to the cucumbers is a row of cantaloupes, and then the cantaloupes go down there and then meet up with my tomatoes here. The tomatoes need to start being tied up. So these tomatoes are the same varieties as over there. They're just like all the extras. And then this row, I was lucky enough to have someone from the area. He is a gardener and he grows these beefsteak tomatoes. So I'm excited that not only am I going to have cherry tomatoes and aroma tomatoes, which is what I like to eat and use, I'm also going to get to eat some beefsteak tomatoes, which I will enjoy immensely. I don't know about the other people in the house. And then here are our peppers. So we have all the extra peppers. So there's jalapenos, red rocket, mini bell, and Yankee bell peppers all out here. So this is just kind of our extras for tomatoes and peppers for the most part. And then now we're getting into the other stuff. So let's actually go back over to the other side because we skipped over a bed. So this bed is zucchini. I have more zucchini transplants over on the patio that you guys saw. When I planted them, I don't know what happened. A lot of them just didn't come up. I'm not sure exactly why, but I replanted some more. So hopefully we will be able to fill up this bed in the next few weeks. But even with my second round, it's not looking super promising for zucchini this year. But honestly, no one needs that much zucchini. Here's our onions. They had a lot of branches fall on them on Friday and Saturday. So they're looking a little sad. Some are broken. These ones are going to seed. We're letting some of them actually set seed, and we're going to save seed from them. And then we're also using them as green onions in the meantime. So back to the other side. I know I'm going back and forth. This row, or this bed, it's all sugar baby pumpkins, so little pie pumpkins, and I'm very excited about those. Next to our watermelon and getting into an area where I really shouldn't be growing things because the ground's not good at all, is some winter squash. This variety is a JESTER squash, and we literally planted it for the chickens to feed throughout the winter because it is a winter storage squash. More cantaloupes that we're just going to let sprawl. And to finish up this side of the garden, we have some potatoes in straw. So we will see how this does. This is a total experiment. The 2 rows of potatoes, all the potatoes were from bagged potatoes that we bought from the grocery store that started sprouting. So hopefully we get some potatoes. And then we have our wonderful bee balm. And then back to the other side of the garden. We have some flowers, marigolds and calendula, and then some dill. Our catnip is starting to go to seed. And actually, I kind of want to trim this back a bit so it bushes out some more. But also, catnip is also known as catmint. It makes a great tea. It's surprisingly sweet. Very enjoyable. So I highly recommend growing catnip. And then here is our pumpkin patch and our jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, and apparently I lost a pumpkin. And I'm not sure when that happened. But there's a hole there. This was the pumpkin there. But I love watching these things grow. They grow so incredibly fast. So we've seen the raised beds, the patio, the main garden, the elderberries. Let's check on the chippies. Here is our sunflower bed. So behind me, the tall ones, which are probably 5 feet tall. I'm actually not in the bed, so let's see. Yeah, they're just under 5 feet tall. So those are a cross between last year's sunflowers, which were a heirloom mix, and mammoth. So we'll see what kind of flowers we get. And then in front, over here, these little guys are gonna be the Trader dwarf sunflower, which I cannot wait to see. Might have some Rebecca and Echinacea. Hey Gimli, how you doing? So while we're out here doing our garden tour, I just wanted to kind of point out something that James and I think we did really well, is picking the spot for this coop. The reason why it's so perfect is we do have it along the street, and it's probably grown up a lot, so you can't really tell, but we have these landscape timbers all along the side, and then I use board to make flower beds. So their pen is actually built up. It acts as a retaining wall for the creek and the soil that's behind on the side. And then we basically have like a jungle back there, and it has grown up so much. Hey ladies, just want to bring you guys in here and show you. It has grown up so much. This is basically shaded all day. Hey ladies, let's move on from the chicken coop and the gypsy wagon. Let's see, what else do we have? Let's check out the front yard. Before we get to the actual front yard, I guess, we have our blackberry bush, which is slowly growing. Hopefully it just gets bigger every year, just like we want it to. Okay, front yard. In pots, we have more chocolate mint. This one's probably not doing as well because it doesn't get as much rain as underneath leaves. And I neglect to water it. And then we have daylilies. And then rosemary. I'm trying to add more and more edible ornamentals into, or edible, I guess ornamental, edible landscaping. And then calendula, but something is munching on it. I think it's rabbit. I'm pretty sure it's rabbit. Okay, so that is what our garden is looking like middle to end of June. We are looking forward to having a more produce in our garden and canning some tomato sauce and doing some stuff with peppers, and then zucchini bread, of course. I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing what we have growing in our garden, and Gimli hopes so too. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions about our garden and what we're doing, leave them for me in the comments below. And if you want to see more of what we do around our homestead, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, guys, bye!